Hey, this is Web Junior 1977 here. Welcome to the Oasis once again. And, yeah. Actually, actually fell asleep there a little bit ago. And, woke up and I'm like, shit, I wanted to go and do a stream. I better go out and do one, you know? So, let me... Oh. So anyway... What the hell's... See what we, plug all my shit in here. This time I gotta plug my phone in too, because it's a little, I forgot to plug it in. And it's almost dead. Gotta love that. There we go. Oh. Alright, so hopefully we can get some people in here chat with us. Oh, chat with me, I should say. As always, woo. Alright. As you saw in my previous video, got my AC in up there. I got a fan, as you can kind of see a fan up there, and the light flickering because the fan's going past it. Cools it off pretty good in here. I don't have the AC on right now, but the fan itself cools it off pretty good for now. Till it gets really hot, and then I have to turn it on, of course, but Sure can't get some people in here. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get something to talk about. I did notice that yesterday I got my top loader NES out, and I didn't really know any backstory or anything behind it, because I'm used to the the OG original Nintendo right here, and apparently the Game Genie will not work in the top loader, which is kind of weird. I'm not sure what makes it not work, but it definitely doesn't work. And then got on there and they say about there's these expensive adapters and all kinds of fun stuff. I'm like, really? And then I watched a video on this guy putting all this stuff together to make it work. And I'm like, really? It's craziness. But apparently there's a way to make it work without buying the $100 adapter or whatever the hell it is. I guess because they're pretty rare now or something. And yeah, pretty crazy. So I'll figure out exactly how to do it, but it's not really that important because I can just get the other Nintendo and use it. But I want to put the see if I could put the other one here through my VCR or whatever anyway, just so I can I could use RCA jacks. I don't have to worry about the connection that it currently has. It's a pain in the ass, but it doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look great either. The standard AV cable, the standard RF adapter kind of sucks, but it's not horrible, but it's not exactly a great looking connection. If anybody that has a top loader NES knows what I mean, that's like the biggest negative, the biggest thing to say against the top loader. I mean, it loads better, obviously, easier, and it's more reliable, but which doesn't take much for the original Nintendo because it's a pain in the ass sometimes to get it working. But it's expensive, and it's expensive, and it doesn't look as good because it doesn't have composite out. So you gotta take good with the bad, I guess, or bad with the good, whatever you will call it. But it kind of sucks, but. Get my fan here and put. There we go. But anyway, yeah, I'll show you what I'll show you here. Maybe explain to some people that might not know very much. This is the top loader NES. It's like a dinosaur. It's like a midget compared to the original, obviously. But these things are pretty pricey if you go to, look for them eBay or Amazon or whatever, wherever you look, they're pretty pricey, pretty much anywhere. So, but like I said, it has composite, or it has or just an RF adapter, like the original one did when it first came. It came out with just a regular RF adapter, the little gray box and all that. And I don't understand why they went backwards. I really don't, because this is obviously newer than the original Nintendo, and yet they went backwards with it. It doesn't make any sense. But I think I just figured out why the Game Genie doesn't work in it, just by looking in there. I'm sure a lot of people can tell me, can know what's going on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I could see what's there's like parts in there that, because it looks like the same pin connection, but there's extra plastic pieces in there, as you can see. Maybe you can see. Let's see. You can see it right here on the edge. There's a raised up plastic piece on either side of it. And you can see that it's going to prevent that cartridge from going in. I've heard that even if you take the top off of it, that it still won't fit on there. But I don't know. That don't make any sense to me, because you got your 72 pin connection on the back where the game plugs in, this should be the male version of that, which in turn should be the same connection as a cartridge. Cartridges go in there fine. So what's the difference? The difference is it's weird, because, oh, wait a minute, I just saw something else too. Well, it looks like the same. It looks like the same connection, which is strange. I don't know. But when it goes down in, the Game Shark might be, or Game Genie might be a little bit wider. That's what I'm guessing. But yeah, it's weird. But that'll probably be in another video once I figure that out. But here's the old RF, like I was talking about. You got your gray box there, and then you got your plug. But I don't actually use these things anymore. You don't really need these things. In today's day and age, all you need is, let me see if I can get one here without knocking a bunch of stuff over. Today's day and age, all you need is one of these things. That's all you need. You got your like RCA in, and you got your coaxial in. Screws on the back. If your TV has one of these, a lot of times the new TVs don't even have these. Get a little better shot of it. A lot of times they don't even have these. They're just you just got your RCA jacks, which is still fine, because you can just plug a cord in there and run it to it, and it should work in theory. But I don't know. I haven't tried that, but You would think, I don't know, because the audio wouldn't work. It would just work video, but that's weird. Now that I think of it, so I guess it wouldn't work like that. But it has to go off one of these, or this gray box, of course. But that's like the dinosaur way of doing it. But I mean, look around. There's a lot of dinosaur things in here, including me. So yeah, so. I get my shit hung back up here. There we go. Let's see. Check a couple messages here. Alrighty. So yeah. Get my go into a little more detail on my I showed this in a previous video, but got my little vac here, and thing's been pretty handy already. Mainly got it for when I open up a console or something. I could get all the crap out of the inside of the console. Rather than have, I did have a handheld like a Dirt Devil thing, but it was small, but not this compact. You know what I mean? It was a good bit bigger than this, and I wanted something a little smaller, so. But yeah, it has this part was a vac. Works pretty good. And then of course, if I take this canister off, and then on the back, snap this on. Now I got a duster to blow stuff out. Which you don't want to do that most of the time. Most of the time you don't want to blow on something to get the dust out of it. A keyboard, yeah, but like a computer or something like that, or like a game console or something. You'd be better off sucking the stuff out, just because it'll sometimes if you blow the dust, it might blow it further into the whatever it is you're trying to get out of, you know what I mean? So, but put this back on. It also has an attachment for this, for the front. So yeah, got a couple filters that come with it. One inside, so you get 3 filters. So yeah, it's a handy device to have. I found myself trying to brush like dust out of consoles and stuff when I'm opening them up, and it's much better and much easier to use a little vac to clean it out. Um, it's good to do that, especially if you're in, an environment where you have cats, and cats like to lay on things. I've noticed a lot of times, um, keyboards and all kinds of stuff. They can get cat hair everywhere. So, depending on the time of year, they shed like crazy, and these things are handy to have. You know what I mean, to get rid of all that stuff, because that stuff can damage a console pretty quickly. Getting in stuff, especially the new consoles. The old consoles not as much. They don't have, like, the NES and the Super NES. They don't have fans and cooling systems in them. Like the PlayStation 4 and 5 and Xboxes and all that fun stuff. They don't have cooling fans for the hair to get in and constrict the airflow through the console. So you got to really keep those as clean as possible, because that'll definitely prolong the life of your console itself, obviously. And yeah, definitely a good thing to keep in mind for sure. So this thing was $25, I think. I think it was like $25, and already it's paid for itself. Really, I mean it's got a USB-C plug on the handle, so it's current. It's not, they're not doing the mini USB or the micro USB like in the day. Like back a while ago, they're actually doing an updated power input. So I mean that's always a good thing. In the box it shows a black one, but it also shows a white one. I don't know if there's a white model. Maybe there is. And that shows this right here. And they're calling it a 3-in-1. I'm not exactly sure what the third option is. Like, it sucks and it blows. I'm not sure what the third option is. Like, they're calling it 3-in-1. So I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what 3 things it does, but yeah, claims 3-in-1. Whatever the third thing is, I don't know. Maybe a club to hit somebody with. I don't fucking know. You hold it like this and you can club somebody with it. I mean, that's the third functionality to it, but I don't know. It's got these they always have crazy gimmicks, and they also put new on there, so I mean. But anyway, there's that. It's not bad. I mean, for the price. But yeah, let's see. See, I was going to call it 60 minutes in the Oasis. Maybe I can. I guess I don't have to change that, but just wanted to do a couple, you know what I mean, a couple different little things today, and kind of put some information out there, obviously. So we got that duster. I think it was 20. It was on Amazon is what it was. Where it was $25. There's some other ones that they go up pretty good. I mean, they go up a lot, like, but $70 and stuff. I want to try one of the cheaper ones to start with, just because why start out with the expensive one and then find out it doesn't do what you want it to do, and you're like another good thing that I found was BW100. If you want to clean stuff, clean your consoles and stuff, this stuff is great. The analog drift, I don't know if any of you have If any of you have like an analog drift, especially the Nintendo Switch seems to. I haven't had any issues with the Nintendo Switch stick drift, but apparently this stuff does pretty good if you spray it in there, and it doesn't hurt any electronics or anything like that. Apparently, you can even spray the stuff in there when your console's running and everything. Like you can spray it in on a motherboard that's of a computer that's running. I wouldn't try it, but it's non-flammable. But it does. I have cleaned with it, and it does clean well. I used it on my PS5 controller, and it did help with the stick drift. I think I need to kind of take my controller apart a little bit to get down in there, because it's pretty enclosed. Like, it's hard to get down in there with it, you know what I mean? So I might have to take my controller apart and spray inside a little better to make it work that much better. But I tried it. Oh, hey John, what's up? Appreciate you stopping in. I tried on my computer. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey. I'll tell you that. I'll give you that. It is a little pricey, but it works pretty good. So I think I paid maybe $12 for this can. I can't remember. It's an 8-ounce can, but as you can see, I still have a lot of stuff in there. And of course, if you remember one of my previous videos, this stuff is also pretty damn expensive. But this is like a $14 bottle. It's 16 fluid ounce or 1 pint. But I barely used any of it. I use this to clean my ribbon cable on the Ghostbusters, the Hasbro pack. Works awesome. Haven't used it for anything else, but I'm sure when I have use of it again, it's gonna do well. I might actually go over my ribbon cable again, because it left a little residue on there. That's not exactly, you know what I mean. It left a little stains on there that I could probably get off, but I was thinking about taking this other cable completely off, and I might still do that. Might still do that because the original, the 84 pack didn't have that cable, so I had extra cable coming down, so we'll see. Might be another modification in the near future. It really doesn't need a whole lot, so. Yeah, a buddy of mine, he lives probably about an hour and a half away or something, or I can never remember the town he lives in. I keep forgetting what the hell the town's name is, but I don't know if you know where Altoona, Pennsylvania is. He lives another 45 minutes past Altoona, and he found them. So, and I didn't have Vankman either. He found the Vankman for me. I actually went into the one in Altoona, which he had already been in, so I didn't have very much wasn't very confident, that I was going to find the one I wanted, but I wanted to go and just see what they had, and I ended up getting those, the real Ghostbusters. I ended up selling those. I was going to open them up, but I already have, ones that are open, so got a little bit of money for them and made a little bit of profit on them. Not much, $4, I think, profit on them. So, I mean, got to make some profit on them. I'm not one of the people that are, Not one of them people that scalp and try to sell them for more. You know, I paid $16 for them and I sold them for 20. So you know where that is. He's another 45 minutes away. So I can never remember exactly. I can never remember exactly what the damn town's called. But I'm not good with names a lot of times. But I'll think of it here in a minute, I'm sure. But I just haven't. Phillipsburg, that's what it is. He lives in Phillipsburg. It's about 45 minutes away from Altoona, so. But yeah, just trying to think. I don't think there's any other thing I had, but I want to, you know, even if no one came in, I want to do a couple. Want to go into a couple things here. Yeah, that's for damn sure. For damn sure. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't find any. Like, well, anyway, I mean, I went into that one where I knew I wasn't going to find it, but I ended up finding the only slime Ghostbuster they had was Winston. They had a bunch of Winston, but Ray and Winston were easy to find this time around. But yeah, I got them displayed over there. Nice and tucked up under. Got a big old long power strip. Got from my father-in-law years ago. And I got him sitting on that and tacked to the wall, said he won't come back. Really? That's crazy. Yeah, Ollie's is selling them for $7.99. Yeah, $7.99 because the other ones were $3.99. Yeah, the real Ghostbusters ones were $3.99, and I picked up all freaking 4 of those. Plus, I did find the Fearsome Flush and the Bug-Eyed Ghost that I actually kept, and I sold the other 4 because I got the first wave hanging on my wall already, so I didn't need those. I just bought them so I could find somebody that needed them, you know. Like $50 in Canada, jeez. $50 Canadian. Damn. Yeah, I have noticed that stuff in Canada is actually, I mean, maybe not everything, but a lot of stuff in Canada is costs more. Like, if you see on items and stuff, it tells you, you know, that it's, you know, more expensive. It tells you it's going to be like, you know, X amount of dollars more in Canada than in the U.S., which kind of sucks. But I'd like to get to Canada again one day. I remember I was in Canada briefly when we went to Niagara Falls. Hell, this has been when I was a kid, you know. And back then you didn't. Nowadays, you try to go across that bridge, you're going to stop. You're going to need a passport, which I have one, so I wouldn't be concerned about that. But before we just walked across. My sister and I just walked across, and this tells you how long ago it's been. We just walked the hell across there, and stood on the Canada side for a few minutes, for 20 minutes or so. Definitely more expensive. Lucky I get paid in American dollars. And we saw this. I don't even know what building it was exactly, what it was called. I don't know if you'll know or not, but it was a big building, and it's like all glass. I mean, obviously it's made of metal, but I mean, there's nothing but windows. Basically, you can see right into the building. There's an elevator going up. You can see the elevator go all the way up. It's neat as shit. But We stood over there for a few, 20 minutes maybe, 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that, and then just walked back over when we just watched, at Niagara Falls. But you couldn't do that nowadays. They'd stop you. I mean, you might be able to walk on a bridge, but you wouldn't make it, They would stop you, I'm sure, on the other side of the bridge and ask you what the hell you're doing. But this has been years ago. I mean, it's crazy years ago, 30 years ago, more than 30 years ago. I mean, it's been a while. Oh, I mean, yeah. It's been more than 30 couple years. Yeah. So, pretty crazy to think of, but yeah, it's about how long ago it's been. Crazy. But time goes by so fast, that's for sure. It's gone in the blink of an eye. Okay, okay. I figured it was something maybe that had to do with Niagara Falls, but I didn't, there's so much stuff over there that you don't know. But huh? You worked with Merle Haggard? That's awesome. Lots to see. Yeah, that's for sure. Did you ever look up the? Did you ever look up the little fun facts about Niagara Falls? Somewhat's quite terrifying, actually. Like they find dead bodies there every year. Some dumbass decides they're gonna try to go over the fall or slips and falls over the fall. Yeah, in my 20s. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's no way to go over that without meeting your maker. That's for damn sure. I don't know if it was ever true that people went over in barrels, try to go over the falls in barrels, but that sounds like a really bad idea. I don't know who would have. I don't know who would have thought of that. Like, just get in a fucking barrel and go over a fall. That sounds like a good idea. I'm sure alcohol is involved, but yeah. So, do you live close to Niagara Falls, or you just got out, you just got out that way and oh hell yeah. Oh, you're about 5 hours from the falls. Okay. I know Canada's a big place. That's for damn sure. It's a good piece of land. That's for sure. But okay, cool. Yeah, I've always wanted to go and see different places, and Canada was definitely a place I wanted to go see, and uh, definitely Scotland and Ireland maybe, and actually, I actually wanted to go to see Australia, but I have a buddy that says, if you want to go see Australia, you let me know because a lot of places in Australia you don't want to visit. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, you just don't want to do it. I'm like, jeez. I was there with. Well, I guarantee you. I guarantee you it does. It's a big place. I was in Scotland. Yeah, Australians being My buddy said though, he said you don't want to go certain places, and I just threw a for instance out there. I said, how about like where they filmed, is where they filmed Crocodile Dundee? Is that a real place? He said, yeah. He said it's a real place. He said, but you don't want to go there. He said maybe where that hotel and stuff is. He said that'd be fine, but he said you don't want to go into the bush, into the woods, He said you don't want to go in there. He said it's pretty dangerous. I was like, well, yeah, I can understand that. Like, going into the Congo or something, that wouldn't be a good idea. um, and I said, what about Sydney? He said you'd be better off not getting mugged in New York. I'm like, jeez. Like, yeah, that don't sound good then. A lot of people say a lot of stuff about New York, but I guess certain parts of New York are worse than others, but yeah, I guarantee you. The furthest I've been away from home is Belgium, and it was a pretty cool place. It wasn't nothing to write home to mom about and say, "Wow, look, I finally made it," But it was neat. Your friend lives in Sydney, okay? I had a friend that I have a friend that I can't remember exactly what part of. I don't know if he ever told me what part of Australia he lived in, but he lives in California now. Um, but I have another friend that lives. I can't remember the town he lives in either. But if you look at Australia, the continent, he lives on the mainland, but above Tasmania. You've got that little island below it, Tasmania. He lives like on the mainland, straight above wherever the hell that is. I'm sure there's plenty of places there, but as a security guard, I'm like, geez, yeah, I don't envy you, but I wouldn't want to be a security guard. But yeah, Belgium was pretty nice. We went to Belgium. Well, actually, I flew into Maasmechelen, Belgium, or Brussels. I flew into Brussels, Belgium, and from work sent me there. And we worked in Maasmechelen, Belgium, and then we also went to Dent, Belgium, which is pretty awesome. It was an old medieval city, and went to the Netherlands. That was pretty cool. And then on Sunday, they said nobody works on Sunday. There was some establishments open, but very few, and like no warehouses are open or anything like that, production lines or nothing. So they said, "Where do you want to go?" And we ended up going to Cologne, Germany, which is pretty badass too. Not many. Oh yeah, yeah, it was pretty neat. It was definitely an experience. Let's put it that way. It was, and it's cool to be able to tell people, hey, I went to, I was on the other side of the world, pretty awesome. Yeah, I was in Cologne. It was pretty damn awesome actually. I'm actually mostly German descent. William, Edward, and Beachley, all German. Um, but I'm German, Irish, and Cherokee Native American. Yeah, weird. That's just the ones I know of, but I don't. I'm sure there might be more in there. I don't know, or it might not be, but who knows? Um, oh yeah, yeah, yep. I can't remember what part of Germany he said he was in, but yeah, it's pretty awesome experience. I've been asking around to see if there's any other trips going to be going over, and they haven't done anything yet. I'm sure some people has gone over, but I haven't heard anything. It's like you get a people start going over again, get a hold of me. I haven't. Oh yeah, it's fun for sure. And then they had that COVID to hit, and there wasn't any traveling. And I'm so glad. I told my wife, I was like, I'm so glad that the COVID didn't happen when I was over there, because then I'd have been stuck over there for God knows how long. You know what I mean? And it wasn't a bad place, but stuck over there without my family. You know, that would have sucked. I couldn't imagine. 8 days was bad enough. You know what I mean? I had fun though. I mean, I had in those 8 days we did a lot. So I mean, and I remember going to I remember going to the Netherlands. I don't know if I told this story online, on any of my streams or not, but I remember going to the Netherlands and we was eating in a little restaurant outside, and there was a sidewalk. I mean, there was mostly bikes over there. You saw some cars, but mostly there were bikes and bicycles. I mean, not motorcycles, bicycles, and there was a sidewalk, and I'm not a really good judge of like how fucking long something is a lot of times, but it was a long sidewalk. It was pretty long sidewalk, a couple 100 yards at least, and I want to say 300 or 400 yard sidewalk. And on the other side of the sidewalk there was bicycles, and they were touching each other, like maybe even holding each other up at some point. In some instances, and the whole way, I mean, it was bicycles. It was crazy. Like there was hundreds, maybe a couple thousand, had to be a couple thousand bicycles. It was crazy. I've never seen so many bicycles in one place. No kidding, it would. Yeah, it would. It wasn't scary being over there because I wasn't stuck. But if I was stuck, knowing I couldn't leave, then yeah, it would be a little scary. I mean, you hear stories about stuff like, I haven't heard anything about Belgium. I've heard a lot about China, which is a good ways away from it. I mean, it's not exactly, close, hours away, but still, you hear shit, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, definitely, yeah. And I saw no pickup trucks. Well, I take that back. I saw 2 pickup trucks. 2. And one of the pickup trucks was in a showroom behind glass, and it never moved. As far as to my knowledge, it never moved. And the other one was going to the Netherlands. I saw it on the other side of the road, headed into Belgium. Yeah, two pickup trucks the whole trip. That was all I saw. Over here, you see pickup trucks every damn where. Like, it's crazy. And yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yep, more than likely. But it was weird because when we was at the same restaurant in the Netherlands, this big ass station wagon backs up to the restaurant, and these gentlemen are pulling a refrigerator or freezer, I don't know which, out of the back of it. It was laying down in the back of this station wagon. They were pulling it out of there. Hopefully they let it sit up for a little while because they're not supposed to be vertical, They can be, but you gotta let them sit up for a while. And the one guy that was with me, he made the comment, he said, sure would be nice to have a pickup truck right about now. And one of the guys looks over at him. I don't know whether he understood him. He may have understood him, but there was a lot of English over there, so he might have understood him, but yeah, really. But he was like, it was funny. It was like, sure would be nice to have a pickup truck right about now. It's like, jeez. But yeah, I mean, it was good, and there was no telephone poles. I mean, there was, but very little. Like, they had them in towns. Like, they had them in, right in town. They had around the old stuff. Like, and my theory on that is that they don't want to dig underground around all them old structures and stuff. So they put poles up, but anywhere else there was no poles, no pole lights, nothing. There were roundabouts everywhere, as far as the eye could see. It was nuts. I mean, it worked. I mean, it wasn't really any traffic jams exactly, but I mean, I might have been going through the wrong time, but yeah, they are. They are really nice looking. And we was walking through the Netherlands, and there was this huge freaking like yard sale. I want to call it a yard sale, but it was a huge sale, like antique stuff. It was pretty neat. I wanted to go over it, but I was like, I not like I'm gonna buy anything anyway. How would I get it back? You know. Um, but and I'm not into antiques or nothing, but I was just curious as to what they had. Yeah. Looked like they were filming a episode of yeah, totally gone. Antiques Roadshow. That's what it looked like. Looked like they were filming an episode of Antiques Roadshow or something. That's what it looked like. I mean, there was a good bit of ground covered with stuff. I mean, it wasn't huge, but it was pretty big for American standards. It was pretty big. It looked like like an auction or something. Like if we have an auction here in Pennsylvania, it might be that big, but hard to believe. Yeah, that's for sure. Yep. Wish I would have had, wish I would have had a little more time to look around, you know what I mean? But we had a little time, but I mean, there was like so much more to see than I had a chance to see, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be nice to go back over, take the whole family over, but like you said, a lot of them places can get scary, but I didn't really, at any time feel, well, I can't say that. At one point I did, well, at the time I didn't feel threatened or uncomfortable or anything until I heard the story about after I got to the work and got back to my hotel room. Um, yeah, definitely would. But I can't remember if I found out because it was an 8 hour flight, and they told us, when we get there, we're going to go to the hotel room, put our stuff down, and then we're going to go right to work. Which made sense because they were paying me the whole time over the 8 hour flight, the 8 hours it took to get over there. They were paying me the whole time. But in the 8 hours back, But so we went and dropped our stuff off, and I think it was when we was dropping our stuff off that I heard about it. But we got to the airport, and it was a 2 story, at least 2 stories, might have been more. We went down to the bottom floor from where we was at, and walked outside because there was right underneath of it was the parking deck. It had like all the rental vehicles and stuff. We had a van we was renting, and we walked past these guards, and of course they had automatic weapons, and so we walked past them, and I even made a joke, this one guy had a backpack on, I even made a joke to my one buddy. I was like, go over there and pull in that guy's backpack. He goes, fuck you. And we got to the hotel room, we dropped the stuff off, and I can't remember if it was at the hotel room before we went to work, or if it was at work, but he's like, about 5 minutes before you guys walked past them guards, some idiot come running out there raising all kind of shit, and they shot him dead where he stood. And I'm like, okay. I'm glad I didn't act like an idiot, because, everybody knows how much of an idiot I act like. I mean, just joking around, but they wasn't fucking taking no jokes. They were being, they wasn't fucking around. And I heard this story, but who knows what they did. This guy might have did more than what they're saying that he did, you know what I mean? From what they're saying, he just walked out there and was acting goofy and shit, you know what I mean? and they shot him because they thought it was a danger. But who knows? He might have had a gun. He might, who knows what the actual story behind it was, But it makes you think. That's for sure. Like when 5 minutes before you walk through there, and what they did is drag his body off. I mean, what do you do? Get a hotel, hotel. Get an ambulance to come take his body. I don't know, but I was like, damn. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I mean, it was at a damn airport and all that stuff, so it was they wasn't fucking around. I can tell you that much. Which I mean is a little terrifying at one point, but then on the other hand, it was kind of comforting to know that they were on their fucking job and they were doing their job and they wasn't gonna let anybody fuck with anybody. You know what I mean? They didn't know whether he had a bomb or maybe, or I don't know, but they did their job. You know what I mean? They shot him to keep other people safe, not just to shoot him because they wanted to shoot him. You know what I mean? But it's pretty bizarre. Like I'm like, really? Like I'm glad. I mean, the biggest concern I had with it is I'm glad I wasn't there to see it because I wouldn't want to see something like that. You know what I mean? Whether the person deserved to get shot or didn't deserve to get shot, I don't like to see anybody. I wouldn't like to see anybody die. You know what I mean? It just, if it was an axe murderer to come in to fuck with my family and I, knocked them the fuck out, or I don't have any guns, but I got a lot of swords. That doesn't mean I'd like to see it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, but especially with tourists, etc., traveling can be scary. It's a hassle these days. Yeah, that's for sure. Luckily, this was before all the COVID and all that bullshit, but it was, it's still crazy out there. Stuff like that, Different countries, you don't know exactly the customs of the country and how they operate, and it gets a little scary, that's for sure. Speaking of the Netherlands, when we was walking, basically right after I saw the sale and stuff, and was walking, we was walking from the sale, where the sale was, over to the restaurant. There was like a street vendor there, right? It looked like a in the United States or Canada, it might appear that it was a hot dog stand. It's basically what it looked like. I don't know if they have hot dog stands in Canada, but I mean probably. But it was a dude selling weed right on the street. I'm like, he said, "Do you guys need any weed?" I'm like, "What?" And it was totally legal. Just selling weed right on the street like a hot dog vendor. It was fucked up. But and then when I didn't even notice this until I got back. They said, weed is legal over there, which no big deal. I mean, I don't care. But I just wasn't buying any. I'm not into that. But I got friends that do it, and whoop-de-doo. It's what they do, and it's their business, not mine. But then I also noticed that prostitution was also legal over there. So I'm like, well, I would have rather, walked in. I would have rather have had a confrontation with a dude selling weed than a prostitute. So again, not judging, but I just it's not something I want to do. Yeah, we have street vendors. Oh yeah, well we have. There's some American states that have legal weed too, but I'm surprised Pennsylvania hasn't legalized it yet, but they probably will. and I still won't smoke it. But again, I don't. If you smoke it, that's that's. I'm not saying you're going to hell, or obviously you're not. I mean, that the Bible says God put everything here for us to use, including plants, which is all weed is. But it's not cocaine that's made by people. You know what I mean? It's chemical. You know what I mean? It shit people put together that make a drug. It's not. It's a plant. You know what I mean? That if you believe in God, He put on this earth. So I don't. Sorry, I don't typically go into God and all this stuff, but because some people don't believe in God, and again, that's your prerogative. Whatever you want to believe is what you want to believe. But so I don't typically go into that or politics or anything. But yeah, within Canada, I don't. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly, for sure. That's definitely it's definitely stoners are definitely uh better to hang out with. I don't like hanging out with anybody drunk. Even my own wife, I can't even stand my own wife if she's drunk. And I'm not saying she always gets drunk. I'm saying I've seen her drunk a couple times and I didn't like it. You know what I mean? But I mean, I grew up with a drunk father. I mean, you know, he's basically still, I should say, an alcoholic father. He's still basically an alcoholic, but he doesn't, you know what I mean? There's two types of alcoholics. There's an alcoholic that has to have beer every day, and then there's alcoholic that doesn't know how to quit drinking beer. Like, gets so damn drunk that he can't stand. Um, so, I guess, you can classify both of them, but I prefer the first one that drinks beer every day, which is what my dad does. He probably drinks beer every day, but he doesn't drink enough to fall on his head, but like he used to when I was younger. I don't ever remember him being abusive, but he yelled around a lot, and as a small kid, of course, scared the shit out of me. But whether he was doing anything or not, we had Starbucks near here. Yeah, I don't like hanging around anybody that's drinking. I don't, um, glad. Yeah, for sure. That's one of the biggest reasons I mean, it's no good. I mean, I'm not condoning it. I'm not condemning anybody that drinks for by any means, but know your limitations. You know what I mean? Like if you drink, a little bit of beer or wine or whatever. I mean, it's that's that. But it's you don't have to drink enough to you don't remember shit. Like I hear people all the time like I went to this party. Like how'd you have time? I don't know. I was drunk. Like well, how you gonna have a good time if you don't even fucking remember it? Like that's some dangerous shit too, especially if you're a woman. Like you might have got screwed. Who knows? I mean, literally got screwed. I mean, and don't even know it. Like, how's that a good time? Like, I'd like to. I like to remember what happened. You know what I mean? You can't have a good time if you don't remember the time you had. Like, and then there's the waking up with a headache, which I don't have an experience with it, but I've heard plenty of people that have. Wake up with a big ass headache and you're puking your guts out. How's that fun? Like, and not to mention your your fucking wallet's more. You got less money in your wallet because of it. You blow all your damn money, and guess what? The next day you're not drunk anymore, and your money's still gone. Makes no sense. At least weed is medicinal. Yeah, I don't get it. Again, I'm not judging people, but it's like I just don't want to hang out with these people. You know what I mean? I'd much rather hang out with somebody that's stoned off their ass from weed, not cocaine or PCP or whatever else there is out there. Weed, yes. I mean, I'd much rather hang out with somebody that's been smoking weed than drinking their ass off, for sure. Because they might act a little slow, because that's what weed does, but they don't act like a fucking idiot, you know? So, I got a buddy that smokes medicinal weed, and he's all the time saying, well, that's why I'm so goofy. No, it isn't. Try again. I've hung around with plenty of people that smoke weed, and they don't talk like you talk. They don't act like idiots. They might act a little slow. Might have the little squinty eyes, you know. Look like they're gonna fall asleep, but they don't act like idiots. No, it's one that's. Yeah, exactly. That's stupid. Yeah, I just don't understand it, but it's not for me to understand. I guess if I understood it, I might want to do it myself. But nah, I don't know how that works. But yeah, I just don't get it. And they Pennsylvania made it so much easier to get beer too. So I mean, and you got the idiots that like to say, "Oh, I'm going to drink a case of beer. I'm going to drive home." You know, that's so fucking stupid. Like, and don't get me wrong, when you're stoned off your ass on weed, that can hinder your driving too. But at least you'll stay on the fucking road, and you won't fall. You won't drive off the road. You know what I mean? It slow your reaction time, yes, but it's still better than being drunk off your ass. All those. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then what are you going to do with them? You know? Melt them down and make a fucking house out of them? I mean, what the hell? Make a glass house out? But, yeah, I don't know. I can't say I've never drinking alcohol, and I'm never going to drink alcohol, but, you know, like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or a fucking wine cooler when my wife used to get them or whatever. Yeah, I mean, what's that? But it just, I just don't understand the. Not to mention it's bad for you. I mean, alcohol itself isn't bad for you, but an abundance of alcohol is bad for you all the time. You know what I mean? I mean, alcohol itself might actually be good for you in moderation. You know what I mean? Like, not a keg a day, you know, or something. My doctor told me they know how. Oh, really? Yeah, I don't know. It's never been for me. You know what I mean? Like smoking cigarettes has never been for me either. Like, again, if you smoke cigarettes, that's your, that's what you like to do. That's fine with me. You know, but it's just never been my thing either. You know, I've never been an addictive person. Um, maybe, maybe caffeine. I don't know, but I can do without the caffeine. I can do without soda. I've actually stopped drinking as much soda as I used to. But I used to drink a lot more soda than I do. But yeah, even smoking, like I'm one of them. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm definitely addicted to collecting. That's for damn sure. But at least it's not bad for my health. I mean, it might be bad for my wallet, but but the my buddy came not too long ago, and And I'm one of them people that are like, it's hard for me to say no to somebody. You know what I mean? I don't like saying no. And I love saying yes, but I don't like saying no. So he asked if he could smoke in here, and I said, yeah, go ahead. And I wish I hadn't. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to tell him no. You know what I mean? But I told my wife, I said, yeah, I need to get some no smoking signs, like thank you for not smoking, and put it on the door or something. Because he smoked in here just the one time, and it lingered for a week. It seemed like it was freaking horrible, like absolutely horrible. Like I'm sure he didn't smell it, but I smelt it. You know what I mean? Like it was bad, and and I wish I hadn't. You know what I mean? It just yeah, exactly. And I don't want it. I don't want it collecting on anything in here. You know what I'm saying? Like cigarette smoke can damage electronics. Like all these electronics in here, all these consoles and stuff. Nah, no thanks. You know what I mean? Just not going there. You know. No one smokes in my house or nothing. If you want to smoke, go on the porch and smoke. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just saying. I was saying it as you were typing. But yeah, even relatives that come over, if they want to smoke, they got to go on the porch and smoke. Where it's nice and ventilated, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we got a roof on the porch. It's closed in, but it's not my house. You know what I'm saying? It's my house. My porch smells like smoke. Oh well, whatever. I'll go out the back door. I don't know. But not in my house. No, no thanks. I mean, my mother-in-law um, passed away. I mean, it's been a few years now, and she used to live in the house. And I don't have to tell you, but I'm sure, but I'm very sure you're old enough to know what I'm talking about. Them walls were yellow. I mean, they were horrible. We cleaned the walls up, and they were freaking horrible. It was nasty. We took the we actually before we wiped down, even after we wiped down the walls, the one wall we went to paint it like a yeah, we went to paint the wall. And we took this stripping. There's a strip because it's double wide. Um, there's a stripping between panels, and we took that off, and it was so fucking white under there. Like, holy shit! Like, what the wall used to look like before we painted. But we painted that wall. It looks nice, but I have a son that if I see. Stop, drop, and roll, right? I know exactly what you mean. Exactly, exactly. You got your mouth on the end of that thing. Like, I don't get it. It's like putting your fucking mouth on an exhaust pipe. Like, ugh, no thanks. I mean, who thinks that's a good idea? Like, there's literally something burning in your fucking mouth. Like, and you're ingesting the fucking smoke coming from it. It's like standing over a fire and breathing the smoke. Like, literally, that's what it's like. It's like burning a pile of leaves, standing over it and inhaling the smoke. That's what it is. They're like, oh, it's got a filter, and whoop de motherfucking do. That filter isn't doing a fucking thing. I only have one. Oh, yeah. I have a few friends that smoke, but if I talk to them while they're smoking, we're outside and I can stay downwind of them, you know what I'm saying? Because smokers don't understand how much it smells. They really fucking don't. Like, they don't smell it anymore. Kind of like I don't smell, I mean, you smell it, but, like, I used to be a farmer and people are like, I don't even smell cow shit anymore. Yeah, you do. It just doesn't bother you. Like, you know, like me, I still smell cow shit. I mean, I still have a nose, a functional nose, you know. so I can smell it, but it doesn't bother me as much as a lot of people would bother, you know, because I used to work on a farm and it just doesn't bother me that much, which is exactly what smokers they just it's nose blind to it almost, you know. But us non-smokers, we can smell it bad, and we can smell it on them even after, you know. I've had this headset over here, and I bet you if I smell it, it come from the same friend that smoked in here. I guarantee you, I could still. I've had it for a month probably now. Guarantee you I can still smell the cigarette smoke in the headset if I tried right now. Guaranteed. But it sticks. It sticks with stuff for sure. But yeah, we're already over an hour. Holy hell! But 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 yeah, it's pretty crazy. I never did add it. You don't want to put it on here. You probably can't put it on here anyway. But shoot me. Well, I don't know how exactly that would work. But anyway, did you? Did I ask you if? Did I ever ask you if you had a Facebook account, like Facebook Messenger or whatever? I guess you probably need Facebook to have Facebook Messenger, but whatever. But I actually have my game room one. Well, I have a Facebook account, but then I have a separate Facebook account just for the game room. You do? Okay. I wouldn't advise putting it on here. Just, well, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I don't know what somebody would do with your Facebook account, but with your Facebook name, you know, I mean, they really couldn't do much with that. But I actually met another guy not long ago. I bought a Game Shark off of him, or Game Genie off of him. What's the game room name? Webb's Retro Gaming Oasis. Right down here. Right down here. Webb's Retro Gaming Oasis. That's what it should be called on Facebook. I need to get some. I need to take some more recent pictures. I took some not long ago, but. Or you can look up William Edward Beachley Jr., which there is another William Edward Beachley on there. A couple of them, I think, but you'll see my ugly mug. If you look up William Edward Beachley Jr., you'll see a picture of my ugly ass, of course. But it'll be like, only if you remember the old Batman. It has like pow and zing and zang. You'll see like a backdrop. I'll be like in a backdrop. Well, it's not really a backdrop. I cropped myself into the picture, but you'll see that. But anyway, but yeah, something to talk back and forth. It's something to talk back and forth with when I'm not doing live streams. So more friends the merrier, right? I mean, not that you're not already my friend, but you know what I'm saying. That it's better to have more than one form of communication between people, you know. But and a couple of my friends are like, "No, I don't have Facebook, and I'm not getting it." And I'm like, "Okay." Like I understand that. I mean, I understand if you don't want to get Facebook. I really do, because I mean, it's good and then it's bad. You know what I mean? There's good aspects of it and there's bad aspects about it. You know what I mean? You got. I mean, there's. Facebook has definitely ruined relationships. That's for sure. Whether it be romantic relationships or relationships with family members, definitely has. Because anybody and their grandmother can get on there and post all kinds of stuff. And someone that they don't want to see it might actually see it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there is bad things about YouTube, or YouTube too, but there is bad things about Facebook for sure. I mean, and I can understand completely if you don't want to have it. You know what I mean? So I was like, all right, well, how about this? And I can't remember. I think he just gave me his number, and we just messaged back and forth. But yeah, I understand. Like, If you don't want Facebook, especially like your kids, I don't want my kids to have Facebook. No thanks. Not until they get old enough to, you know what I mean. And I'm pretty sure you can't make a Facebook account unless, of course, you can easily lie about your age, obviously. But it can be a dangerous thing too. I mean, if not used properly. Fireworks, they're beautiful, but used incorrectly can be deadly. I mean, but you hear freaking predators getting on Facebook and trying to find prey. That shit's scary, especially when you have kids. I'm not worried about myself, but my kids, it's my job to protect them, and that's what I do. It's what I try to do. It's hard to do sometimes, but it's what you got to do. I think it's 14 for Friday. Yeah, probably something like that. Yeah. Oh, definitely not. No. I mean, they also say that they don't want any nudity on Facebook, and there is. Like I've seen it, and I'm like, really? And YouTube's the same way. Like they say, there's a double standard. You know what I mean, on stuff. It's crazy. Exactly. Yeah. See, we have tablets for them, and there's restrictions on these tablets. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we have apps on our phones that tell us how long they've been on that tablet. We can shut them down from our phone from anywhere. So I mean, try to keep it a little safer. You know what I'm saying? You can't completely protect them 24 hours. I know, but we can do what we can do. Let's put it that way. Click somebody. Oh, Mr. Game Dungeon Productions. Actually, I got his shirt on right now. He's online. I'm probably gonna be jumping on his stream pretty soon. I'll go to an hour and a half here. Not tired of talking to you. I could talk to you for another 3 hours or more than that, but you know how that goes. But I'll shut it off at hour and a half. I'll go a couple minutes over. Whoop de do. But it was great. It was great to have you in here, John. For sure. Appreciate it. I didn't know if I was going to have anybody come in or not, but I was prepared to not have anybody. That's why I was finding things to talk about. You know what I mean? To kind of have a little information video. I did I did show the vacuum on another stream, but I didn't really, get in depth to show you how, how it works and all that stuff. So, figured I'd put a little content and. Yeah, for sure, brother, for sure. I like talking to people when they're, when they're decent people, you know what I mean? Some people I don't like being around, but there's not too many people that I can think of that I don't want to be around, but there's a few here and there. Most of the people I don't even know, you know what I mean? You're just like, who's that guy? I don't want to be around there. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't claim to be the nicest guy in the world for sure, but most people that know me will tell you that if a person can't get along with me, then typically it's their fault, not mine, because I try to get along with everybody, even the assholes. I try to coexist. You know what I mean? Like, I don't go searching to argue with anybody. Like, it just really isn't worth it. You know what I mean? It's like the message I had on my I put on Facebook. I know you didn't see it, but you might see it when you add me to Facebook. But my cousin, he needs my help a lot, or he did need my help a lot, and I told him, I don't mind helping you. I really don't. Taking you places, I really don't. I enjoy helping him once in a while, but I just can't do it every day. You know what I mean? I can't. I got a family to provide for. I got a family that I need to spend time with. And I just can't do it every day. Well, he tried to make it an everyday thing, and I kind of blew up at him, and I felt bad about it after I did it. But it's like I can't, keep pretending that I don't that it doesn't bother me. I have to eventually tell somebody, you know. And he hasn't talked to me for a while. Our uncle was actually in the hospital, and he just got a hold of me yesterday, I think, about it, or the day before, and it was the first time he's texted me in a long time. But I'll put up this big thing on Facebook. I'm like, you know, life's too short. It really is. Like, to be mad at a family member or a friend, life is just way too short. Like, why spend your life being mad at somebody? You know what I mean? Holding a grudge against somebody, or it just isn't worth it. Like, it really isn't. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's just, you know, I choose to spend my life being positive. I don't you know, I don't want to be that guy that's always freaking negative Nancy. I don't even know if that's a thing, but I just made it up. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of my family that doesn't even talk to me, like, or they just get pissed about dumb things. Like, the last time I was at my one aunt's house, her two sons, my cousins, obviously, um, they were mad at each other, and I was like, you know, whatever. You know, they wouldn't talk to each other. They were sitting right beside each other, and they didn't even fucking look at each other. Like, I'm sure they did when the other one wasn't looking, but I mean, they wouldn't talk to each other. And I was like, damn, somebody must have done something bad. Well, you know what? You know what? Why the older one was the older brother was mad at the younger brother because he had a kid before him, and he was the older brother, so he should have been the one to have the kid first. Not, are you fucking serious? Like, you're gonna not talk to your brother because he had a kid before you? Really? Is that a reason to be mad at your brother? I'd be happy. My sister had two kids before I had any kids. I wasn't mad at her. I was happy for her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Yeah, exactly. Like, how stupid is that? Like, makes no damn sense. Like, and then I got another cousin that. Okay, so the situation is the cousin I was telling you about that doesn't really talk to me right now. Um. Oh yeah, but the cousin that hasn't talked to me for a while. His mom had him young and didn't feel that she was capable of taking care of him. So basically, the uh, responsibility turned to our grandparents, and they raised him. So he didn't call them mom and dad, but he didn't call his mom either. Well, um, she later got married, of course, to another guy and had a kid. So obviously they're half brothers. Um, and it's been years now, but she passed away of cancer, and my cousin Brian wasn't able to make it to the funeral because of it was a lot of snow that day. I mean, it was none of us made it because it was just too dangerous to risk going out to a funeral, and you know, and his half brother won't talk to him anymore because he didn't make it to the funeral. He talks to me and everybody else that didn't make it, but he wouldn't talk to, you know what I mean? Like, I just, I don't understand, you know? I have a half brother. I don't call him a half brother, but just to tell you, know, same mother, different father, you know? But I just call him brother, you know what I mean? I have stepbrothers. I just call them brother. I can't even imagine not talking to him. Like, I can't imagine what would make me say, okay, I'm not talking to you anymore. You're not my brother anymore. You know, I don't understand. Like, I don't get it. But I mean, some people are wired different, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't. It makes no sense at all. Like, life is too short to be mad at somebody for the rest of your life, not to talk to them. Like, I don't get them. I'm not saying I don't get mad at people. I do all the time, but you don't stay mad. You know, if you have any sense to you at all, you don't stay mad for ever. You know, like, I'm just never talking to this person again. Like, I don't get it. I don't know how you come to that point. Like, like abusing kids and killing people or killing children especially. How do you get to that point? Like, I don't even want to know, but I just don't know what goes through people's minds when they do shit like that. Like, I mean, I don't want to know, but it's just ridiculous. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here. A pleasure as always, Mr. John. I appreciate you stopping in here. And I appreciate anybody that watches this video after it's been uploaded. Even if you just stop in, and of course, if you just stop in and hit a like on it, you're not going to hear this message right now. But but if you made it to this part of the message, leave a comment in the comment section below. Hey, I saw your whole stream, and I'll definitely thank you for it. I'll definitely thank you for just dropping in, hitting the thumbs up. It helps. But not that I get paid to do this, but it's good to know you're appreciated. You know that what you do, someone wants to watch. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you check out all the links in the description below once this video has been uploaded. And I don't know. Do you know Game Dungeon Productions, John? He's on Twitch. I definitely would recommend jumping to his stream if you. I don't know if you know who that is or not, but just Game Dungeon Productions. This is actually his shirt right here that I bought from him a while back. He's on YouTube as well, but he doesn't put any new stuff on YouTube. He's on Twitch now. But yeah, if you, I definitely would recommend jumping over to his stream. Oh, you don't have Twitch? I definitely would recommend him if you ever get Twitch, to jump over to his stream, to go to his, check out his stuff. He's got a huge game room and takes requests and all that stuff. Pretty awesome, for sure. So, but yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody, including you, John, of course. And until next time, I'll meet you right back here in the Oasis. I'm not looking at the camera, am I? I'm looking at the time. It looks really weird. But anyway, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Whoops. Didn't do that right, did I?